Well, as it stands, the ANC leads and the DA trails in our 6th municipal elections. So no major changes there, but the nuance is in the numbers, and smaller parties are having a big showing so far. Kgothatso Shai is a political analyst in Limpopo and joins us live now. Professor, thank you so much for your time this morning. We were talking off air about the independent ward candidates. How have they fared?
Good morning, colleague and the viewers at home. Indeed, I think generally the independent ward councillor candidates across the country, I think for me, they've generally done well. Even those that have not been, really successful in terms of winning the wards. But when you look at the ward councillor candidates, you'll remember that these ward councillor candidates are mainly community orientated, with no much of track history, sponsorship. So given the fact that these are really individuals who do not have any resources and an established brand to run this type of campaigns, one will actually be in a safer position to say they've really done well, because we've got instances where they've actually, in certain wards, they've actually been able to capitalize on the weaknesses of the major political parties to usurp power from the major political parties in those wards. And some of those political parties, you will know, they are political parties that have got an established brand with a lot of resources, backing, experience, and what have you. But also, there's also another challenge which they've really experienced. Independent ward councillor candidate, for me, they have fared well against all odds for two main reasons. There are instances where you find that the major political parties, such as, for instance, the African National Congress, they've really been able to draw from the privilege of incumbency. For argument's sake, there have been reports in certain parts of the country wherein we've learned that just prior to the elections, the candidates that are aligned to the African National Congress, they were favored with food parcels. And these food parcels, they were distributed in those wards under the pretext of trying to patronize the voters to really support them. So for me, we still have a bit of a challenge, especially in rural areas, wherein our people cannot draw a watertight division between a governing party and also the state. So there is that conflation. Hence, even during election day, we've got instances where you find that certain officials of municipalities who belongs to a particular political party, they will, especially the ruling party for argument's sake, they will actually be traveling around on a public holiday, doing political party work, using the vehicles of a municipality. So for me, I'm saying that the independent ward councillor candidates have generally done well under very difficult circumstances. We've also realized that, among other challenges, the majority of the members of the Independent Electoral Commission, most of them, they are not trained public administration practitioners or election experts or public administration or even political science experts. Most of the people who serve in the IEC, especially in the voting stations, those are ordinary teachers who have got a strong sentimental value and attachment to the African National Congress. And here is the disadvantage. we've had situations wherein you will know that in the local government elections, you've got 3 ballots. There's a ballot for the ward councillor candidate, and there is a ward for the PR local municipality, and the ward for the district municipality. The disadvantage, the challenge that we have been experienced by the independent one councillor candidate is that the independent one councillor candidate, the only future in the ballot paper of the ward. And in a situation whereby the ballot paper of the district is being pitched, especially in the eyes of someone who is literate, and they read for you the names of the district political parties, the political parties that are contesting for the PR, the PR of the district, and they ask you, which party do you want? And you make a choice. They don't move to ask you, what is your choice for the local PR and for the ward councillor? In certain instances, there has been an assumption that if a particular voter opts for a particular political party at the district level, that automatically implies that they will also vote for the same party at the local PR and the ward council. So this has really been a disadvantage for the ward council, independent councillor candidates who only feature in one ballot box of the ward, who do not even have a privilege of enjoying the spoils of the proportional representation in terms of the voters that they will have actually acquired. So really, the pie is quite limited for them. Yeah.
Prof, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to get a wider national picture and just look at some of the results coming in, especially in the contested metros. What are you seeing in terms of Nelson Mandela Bay and Ekurhuleni?
Oh, very interesting developments there. I think for me, what really catches my attention, especially in the majority of the metros, ranging from the city of Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg, and elsewhere, even in Nelson Mandela. The most interesting part is that almost all the political parties, they have failed to acquire at least 50% of the voters. So all of them, they've really fallen behind, below the 50% margin. And very, very interesting, you will also realize that the margin in terms of the voter support, when looked at against the votes that have been cast so far between the front runner and also the second runner, is quite minimal. And that naturally implies that we are likely to see a replay of coalition municipal governments across our metros in South Africa. The big question is which political parties are likely to coalesce with one another, especially due to the fact that the previous experience in the past 5 years have proven that the majority of the metros in South Africa have largely been, unstable, because really they've been driven by, short-termism. They have not been, a coherence in terms of ideology, strategic path, and tactics of political parties. You will know that yes, I mean, those are just some of the things, but we're likely to have coalitions.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Kgothatso Shai is a political analyst in Limpopo.